What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. So today we're going to cover my level 83 Bone Spear Necromancer. It's already doing in the millions of damage. The highest tier map that I've completed, or Nightmare Dungeon that I've completed so far with this build, is 58. It could go higher, and that's only at level 83. The biggest tick of damage that I've done so far was close to 5 million on a crit, which is pretty good. This build is really strong overall. In today's video we will cover the gear choices, summons choices, skill tree, Paragon board, and then I'll leave you with a bit of gameplay at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so before we go into the gear, I'll briefly go over the skills that we use with the build. Right here we use Bone Splinters. This is going to be the one that we use as our basic skill. This does generate essence. At this point, at this stage, at level 83, I don't even use this anymore, but you could if you wanted to get essence if you ever run out. We have ways around that though. We will be generating a lot of essence with this build. Bone Spear, this is our bread and butter. This is our main source of damage. Does a lot of damage overall. Blood Mist, this is our get out of jail free card. Our panic button, if we're ever crowd controlled or in a bad tight spot, we hit this and we go immune. We use Corpse Explosion. Basically, Corpse Explosion is just for a damage buff from our Paragon board and other things that we have. It enhances our damage overall. We use Corpse Tendrils. This will suck all of the enemies into a group, stunning them, slowing them, making them vulnerable, making it to where they take more damage. Just really good overall, and it's good to deal with big groups and big packs. And then Bone Storm. We have Bone Storm. Basically, it gives us 15% damage reduction while it's active, and also, as you see right there, gives us 20% increased critical strike chance, making it to where, like earlier on, you can cap your crit chance. And with this build, we pretty much have capped crit chance overall. So into the gear, I'm just going to briefly cover this, guys. Like I said, I am level 83. I probably will take this build to 100 and kill Uber Lilith with it. That's the plan. We'll look out for a video when I hit 100. Things probably will change a little bit, but this is my setup for now. In the helm, you want to try to get the Deathless Visage. It's not necessarily needed. You don't have to have it. Gives you a lot of good bonuses for the build. You know, max essence, armor, physical damage, critical strike damage with bone skills. And then also, as you see right there, Bone Spear leaves behind echoes as it travels that explode. You leave these 3 echoes behind, kind of helps with your clear a little bit. In the chest, I need to upgrade this. I just have physical damage, armor, life, damage reduction. And then you do want to try to get that aspect right there of disobedience. Basically boosts your armor greatly. I mean, you want to look for that. It's one of the best defensive aspects you can get. On the gloves, we have the splintering aspect. On your gloves, you do want to try to get 4 rings to your Bone Spear. Adds a lot of damage, crit chance, attack speed. There is a mod that you can get that will give you essence on hit, lucky hit, like a 5% chance. If you can get that, you definitely want to try to. Right there, though, you want the splintering aspect. Now, some people put this on their weapon. Some people put it on their amulet for, you know, more damage from it. This is just where I have it right now. When I get closer to a level 100, I might change things around a little bit, but for now, this is how I have it. You definitely have to have that aspect, though, and you can get that in the Codex of Power. Right here, you know, here's the pants. I just have a ton of damage reduction. Intelligence, which this build gets damage from intelligence, so that's really good. And then I chose the barrier, which helps out, you know, gives us a little bit of extra defense. In the boots, you want to try to get ranks to Corpse Tendrils. I'm going to try to get 4 eventually right here. You want to get movement speed. And then, yeah, whatever else you want to get on your boots. You can get energy cost reduction, which is nice. Right here on the boots, you see for my imprint, I have critical strikes grant 16% increased movement speed. That's great. You want to try to get as much move speed with this build as you possibly can, so you can, you know, get around quickly. Now into the weapon, you want to try to get a 2-hander, preferably a sword with the implicit of critical strike damage. You know, see right there, I have 52.5%. You want to get as much flat damage on the sword as you possibly can, and then you want to try to get for your other mods, you know, critical strike damage, core skill damage, vulnerable damage. Critical strike damage with bone skills, intelligence, all stats is nice. And then right there you can see that I have the aspect of grasping veins, which is also in the codex if you guys need that aspect. Gives you a huge bonus when you use your corpse tendrils. Gives me 34% increased critical strike chance overall for 6 seconds. And then your corpse, you know, you deal more damage. That's a multiplicative damage while they are damaged by corpse tendrils, which is really nice. Up here into the amulet, I need to upgrade my amulet a bit. I got move speed, which I wanted to get on there for sure. Essence cost reduction, bone skill damage. There's other things that are good for this. This is just what I have for now. I put Serration, the aspect of Serration, which you will have to find on here. And basically, it makes it to where our key passive, Ossified Essence, also increases the damage of our critical strike by their bone skills by 1% per essence above 50, up to 59%, and that's multiplicative also. So that's like a huge damage boost. We definitely want to have that. Right here, I have some pretty nice rings. I have Edge Master's aspect on this ring right here. I went for crit damage with bone skills, tons of life. I like to get life. I'm trying to have a little bit of extra defense. As you can see, I have almost 8k life at 83. Around 100, I'll probably have 10 to 12k. So I want to go defensive a little bit, not just pure damage, which I could do, but you know, I want to be able to kill and stay alive at the same time. So yeah, I have the Edge Master's aspect right here. That's another one that you can also use in the Codex if you had to. Right here on the second ring, now you want to look for the aspect of exposed flesh. It's really important. You see down there, lucky hit up to a 10% chance. Unlucky hit to generate, I got a really nice roll, 50 essence when hitting a vulnerable enemy, which all of the enemies that we hit are vulnerable thanks to this aspect right over here. Or I'm sorry, thanks to this aspect right here. This is just awesome. I mean, we have a ton of essence with this build. We actually gain damage because of essence with this build. So, you know, that 50 is going off pretty often, making it to where we boost our essence up. We don't really have essence problems with this build. And then in the tree, we actually get, or I'm sorry, in the Paragon board, we get more essence and we get essence on kills. So we have a lot of different ways of generating essence. You could get like aspect of the Umbral on your other ring if you wanted to, which gives you, you know, up to 4 essence per crowd controlled enemy, which is nice if you're having problems with essence. So we'll go ahead. That's pretty much it for the gear, guys. We'll go ahead and go into our summons and the choices that I made on that. We sacrifice the skirmishers right here for 5% more crit chance. Into the mages. Now up here we took the 15 to maximum essence, because with this build we actually do gain a lot of damage per essence that we have. So we went with that right here. And into the golems, we sacrificed the iron golem and we got 30% multiplicative damage, increased critical strike damage. And that's, like I said, that's multiplicative, so that's a huge boost. Really nice. Now we will quickly go into the skill tree. I don't want to take too long on covering this. I just briefly go over it for you guys. We have bone splinters for our choice up here. You know, I don't even use this anymore. Honestly, you could if you needed to generate essence if you're in a tight spot. Back here into hands, bone splinters. Our bread and butter, bone spear. Obviously, we're going to take that. We got rank 9 on that because of our gloves. Definitely want to get that higher rank. Come back in here into enhanced, and then back here into paranormal for 5% more crit chance. We're going to come up here into unliving energy. Your maximum essence is increased by 9. And then up here, now this doesn't increase the cost of your skills, but it also increases your damage 15%, and that's also multiplicative. That's a nice damage boost. We want to go for that. You will want to get hewed flesh. Your damage has up to a 12% chance to create a corpse at the target's location, which we definitely want that. We want to be creating corpses because we're going to use corpse explosion to you know, boost our damage up. Right here, just 1 into blood mist. If you can get, you know, a rank to blood mist in your gear, great. If not, put 1 point in. That's just our panic button. If we're in a bad situation or we're crowd controlled, we can get out of it. 1 point into corpse explosion. Like I said, this isn't for dealing any kind of damage. This is solely to boost our damage. As you can see right here with this one, fueled by death, you deal 9% increased damage for 6 seconds after consuming a corpse. So, you know, it's great. And then in the Paragon board, we get even more damage from consuming corpses. And on top of that, with Grim Harvest right here, we also get 6 essence per consumed corpse. So we can use that to gain essence if we have to also. Down here into our curses, we don't take any curses. We are going to want to take Death's Embrace. Close enemies take 6% more damage from you and deal 9% less. We want Death's Reach, 12% increased damage to distant enemies, which we're like always distant with this build, which is really nice. We're usually kiting a lot and staying away from enemies. We definitely want to get Corpse Tendrils. This is a huge thing for the build. Now, the more ranks you have into Corpse Tendrils, the cooldown is even shorter, which is really nice. Corpse Tendrils sucks all the enemies in, stuns them for 3 seconds, slows them, makes them vulnerable, just super strong. Come back here into Enhanced and Plagued Corpse Tendrils. Now, we are making enemies vulnerable because of other pieces on our gear. So if you didn't want to take plagued, you could go over here into blighted corpse tendrils and, you know, get blood orbs with the 35% chance. That's up to you. You know, you could integrate fortification into this build, which I might do closer to level 100. I haven't decided yet, but this is where I'm at right here at level 83. We're going to come down here into get serration, 3 points into that. Right here, your bone skills have 9% increased critical strike chance for each 10 essence. I think I'm up to like 260 essence at max, and you know, that's given us like 24% crit chance overall, so this is huge. You want to get compound fracture after critically striking 10 times bone skills. Your bone skills deal 15% increased damage. We're always crit striking. We're pretty much crit capped, so I mean, we're just constantly crit striking. You want to get that. Come down here into Evulsion. Your bone skills deal the 18% increased critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. Huge. Now, the next amulet I get, I'm going to get pluses to Evulsion on there. You can get up to 3 ranks on your amulet. So I'm going to be looking for that, and that's going to boost this up. Big multiplicative damage boost right there. Down here, standalone, you're going to want to grab that. Increased damage reduction by 18% when you have no minions, pretty much. And we have no minions, so. And then Memento Mori back here. Sacrificing your, basically you get 60% boost for sacrifices, you know, to your sacrifices. So that's awesome. We want to get that. We come down here, Bone Storm. We're not getting this for damage. Like I said earlier, this is just for the damage reduction and 20% increased crit chance. And then down here, obviously we want to take Ossified Essence, which is our passive for the bone. And we definitely want to have this. Your bone skills deal 1% increased damage for each point of essence you have above 50 upon cast. And we always have a ton of essence, and like I said, we have like 260 essence at max with this build. That's a ton of added multiplicative damage, just huge for the build. Now we will quickly go into the Paragon board. Now guys, just so you know, I will have a link in the description for this build if you want to go actually look at it, you know, at a website. That's up to you. I'm going to quickly cover the Paragon board also real quick so you can see where I went and the choices that I made. Starting down here, we come up, we grab Prime, you know, damage life. Come up this way. Right here, I have Sacrificial, and it's basically boosting these nodes over here, giving us damage, armor, willpower. You know, we got, went up to here, Preservation and Knowledge, more damage, Intelligence. And don't forget that with this build, the Intelligence is what adds to our overall damage. So then we come up here, the very first thing you want to get, and this board is the Bone Graft board. Very first thing you want to get is Reinvigorate. This is going to help with your essence. You get essence on kill. There's tons of essence, max essence on kill all around it also. This is going to help with your essence big time. So you want to get that very first thing when you come into your board. Come over here, I got Bone Graft, Entomb, 4% base crit strike chance. And then there's crit damage all around here. We're going to come over here into Calcified, more crit damage, bone skill damage. Right up here we have Essence, which is a really huge one. Look at that. Now this is, I do have it at level 21, and you, with all your glyphs, you want to get them at least to 15. So you get the bigger radius. Right here, though, 97% critical strike damage with core skills. And then, you know, we meet the additional bonus. We get 22% increased damage to enemies that are not healthy. Really nice. Come up here, we're going to grab Shaper of Bone, 20% bone skill damage. And there's more bone skill damage around here. And then also, you know, lots of dexterity. So put Essence right here in that glyph. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to Ruin right here. Damage to healthy enemies, more crit strike damage. And around here. After these levels right here, the next points after what I was doing here that I was going to put in, I was going to put into this and this right here for more damage to healthy enemies, because, you know, we're one-tapping enemies all the time. So they're like usually healthy. With our first shot, we're killing them. So that just gives us more overall damage on our first shot, which usually kills everything. So this board right here is the Scent of Death. We're going to want to get this with 2 corpses nearby. You gain 15% damage reduction. With no corpses nearby, you get a 15% multiplicative damage bonus, which is real nice. We're going to come over this way. We're going to grab Corrective, 30% crit damage. You know, obviously we're just stacking tons of crit on this build. Come up here, more crit damage, come across. So we're going to come into this board over here, which will be the Flesh Eater board. I came up here, grabbed this. 25% damage to injured enemies. Not too worried about that stat, but the more crit damage right there you see. We want to get more crit damage here. Come across here. Come down. We want to get Flesh Eater. Now this goes to back to us using Corpse Explosion again. consuming 5 corpses, you get 40% increased damage, and that's multiplicative also for 6 seconds. Huge. You want to try to keep that up as much as possible, especially against like harder enemies. We're going to come around here. We're going to come down. We're going to grab targeted damage to elites, which is real nice. More damage to elites around here. And then down here, we're going to want to put in exploit. You know, this is huge. Gives us vulnerable damage. And then you can see right down there, dealing damage to a vulnerable enemy increases your damage by 1% for 6 seconds, up to 10%. Really nice multiplicative damage. This build, guys, is just a powerhouse. I've had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I'm probably going to bring it to level 100 and try to kill Uber Lilith. I will do a final in-game build guide for it once I get there pretty soon. Hopefully this guide has been helpful. If you guys have any comments or questions, let me know down below. I will answer them, help you out the best I can. Or if you have any input, things you would change, maybe you've tried that are better, let me know also down below. Trying to hit that 5,000 sub mark. If you guys could help me out, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a sub if it helped you out. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching.